Hey gamers, I'm here with Michael from Siverware Games. He's a creator of a new game I'm playing called 100 Bullets. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing well.
Okay, first of all, this is a very different game. This is basically a shmup where you create your own bullets, and you're basically dodging the bullets that you create as you play it. How would you describe this game? Because I've never really played anything like it.
Well, so if I wanted to be kind of fancy, it's a struggle to understand the self. But really, it's just a shoot 'em up where you dodge your own bullet pattern. That's kind of the idea behind it. And then we added kind of a layer of Zen stuff so that it's
I mean, it is so Zen. Like, tell me about that, because like at first I didn't even know how to take it, because like you know, you just jump into it, and you know, it's very quick to understand what's going on. Basically, you have to make it through 100 bullets and survive your own bullets that you're producing as you move. And you only produce bullets when you move. Is that correct?
Yeah, so that was actually, there's a game developer, Will Starwood, who's in the Philadelphia area. And the first version I had of it, there was no pause when you stop moving. It just kind of, it didn't think of anything. So you could kind of cheat and just shoot a few bullets and then stop.
And wait for them to disappear, then shoot a couple more, yeah.
Right, yeah, so I had to come up with the idea of making it go backwards when you stop, so that way there's a punishment for kind of sitting around and doing nothing.
Okay. And there's like, when you play the game, basically you have, the way the levels are set up, basically you have like tiers almost. How would you describe it? And then conflicts, they call them. Like you have what, 1, 2, 3, 10 different kinds of patterns you have to survive. And then it goes to a different conflict. I mean, explain like the Zen of it, because like it was interesting to me the way that the game's developed.
So the Zen part came way later. This game started in 2009. So this is an example of Zen just to wait. Sorry. This is an example of Zen just to wait this long to kind of actually put out the game. But the path, we kind of thought of this as a spiritual journey. So we added the little descriptions on the top of, know your path, understand your path, see your path, as kind of, instead of just doing, well, next level. That's,
and as a game, easy to learn, difficult to master is like always, one of the things I always look for in a great game. And the thing that's cool about it is like every single like little arena you go into has like, I think 3 different difficulties you can try. And they're like little flowers or something by them. Like, how did you come up with that idea to give you 3 different levels? Because there's a big difference between like the 1, the 2, and then the one that has a bunch is really hard.
So that actually, it's a weird thing that level was inspired by. So there was a version of this that we did that was very early on and much more primitive that was actually on mobile phones. Okay. And I had a publisher for mobile phones who suggested, well, you've got to have stars for each level, right? Because that's like everyone on mobile says stars for levels. Yeah. And then we said, well, but like stars are kind of cliche and everybody's just, so we said lotus flowers. And then actually when I did the final version of it that was really polished, I had to play all the levels a bazillion times to make sure that you could actually beat all of the speeds, because what happens is the speed of the level increases. So the bullets actually have a longer range, which actually means that some levels, if you made it too long, it would be impossible to beat the levels. So I had to, that was the toughest part of doing the final version, was making sure that all of each level has its own custom speeds for how different the difficulties are.
Okay. And then the rules change. Like you get into like, certain surfaces bounce. Then you start to have like things that open and close, like doorways that open and close. Then I played the level where like there's like a warp and you can go through it and come out on the other side of the screen. Yes. So there's a lot of rule bending. As you play, the rules keep changing. And I think that's one of the interesting things about the game. Go ahead. So
the earliest version of the game was sort of much more basic, and each level was very similar. And then again, I think one of the guys in Philly sort of said, hey, this level with these walls that snipe at you is the most interesting level, because the walls kind of bounce straight into your face.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, I can work with that. I'll just make weird, kind of crazy walls that do different things. There's a wall that splits your bullet. There's walls that make the bullets track after you. There's walls that are portals, as you say. There's different spaces that change how your bullets fly. So that was fun for me. That was like the most fun part of the game. The development process was to come up with all of these crazy changes in the rules for each level.
Yeah, yeah. And it starts with just, are all the levels based on a circle so that the bullets fire back at you?
Yeah, I had to make sure the shapes work in terms of being both difficult and doable. So you don't want to make a shape that's just boring because obviously, right. But you also don't want to make a shape that's just impossible because it's really tiny or whatever. So circles are really good for that. So that's a common theme. There is a level that's sort of square later on that has directional walls on it. I don't know if you've made it that far, but
I haven't made it that far. I think I'm on the third construct.
Sure.
And there is a lot. I mean, how many total arenas are there in the game? I mean, I'm just loving the variations.
It's either 70 or 75. I've forgotten now.
Okay, I see it goes.
Supposed to know that.
Is the 99? Is that the lotus flowers that you need to get for these last bubbles?
Exactly. To unlock that level, you need that many more lotus tokens unlocked. Okay,
and the lotus tokens, you get more lotus tokens if you do the more difficult level on each arena?
Exactly. So the first difficulty is one.
I'm calling them arenas. What do you call them? Like each like thing that you go into. What do you call them? I kind of think
of I just call them a level. I mean, I know that I should come up with some fancy Zen.
Yeah, that's cool though. Okay.
Yeah,
but
the first it's 1, 2, and then 5 for the amount that you unlock. For each one. So the hardest difficulty, you get a big bonus in terms of how many you unlock.
It's a lot harder. I mean, like the hard difficulty is really hard. It's definitely challenging. If you're to go through and I see I've got the yin and yang symbol coming up. This is this is the Xbox symbol, isn't it?
Yes, that's the Xbox logo.
Crazy.
I thought that was a fun idea.
And then this one was really fun because it had where you basically have a warp. So I can't wait to see what's coming down the road. But I did want to show the game at least so people would get to see it. It's really fun. I don't want to ruin everything either because I think part of the fun of the game is the way it kind of messes with your mind as you're playing. It keeps bending the rules as you play through the game. I think that's one of the really great things about it.
That's very sweet for you to say. I appreciate that.
And I look forward to getting, and you know what I also love it, because it's an Xbox game, you have a ton of achievements as you're playing through the game. It's constantly like, you've unlocked this, you've achieved this. And I like it every time the little achievement things pops up. I feel like it's a small victory, And that keeps you playing, And,
we were happy to do the achievements, and actually, if you want a pitch, you can actually win an achievement named after you. There's a level in the upper left in the menu on the first tier called the ZEN Tournament, and I recommend you practice the game a little bit before you do it because you only get one try. But if you score really high, there's a global leaderboard for the ZEN Tournament. If you score really high, I will name an achievement after your game.
Oh, that is cool. Okay, so they have the ZEN Tournament. I'm gonna wait till I probably play through all the levels at least.
I think you should practice because you only get one chance.
Okay, yeah. It's like Bruce Lee when he goes in the Enter the Dragon. It's the tournament. You don't want to go. You got one chance. One life. Right, yeah, so I'll wait on the ZEN Tournament till I've made it all the way through the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, is there anything else you'd like to tell my viewers about your game? I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. So is there anything else you would like to say to the viewers that are going to watch this?
I will say there are secret levels based on looking at little clues, and some of the details are really fine, and some of the secret levels are very complicated to unlock. So you may want to try and network and talk to some of the people who know the secrets, or just reach out to me. I'll tell you. But there's achievements for unlocking the secret levels, and there's achievements for beating the secret levels. So there are secrets. That's my thing I want to say.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes to talk about the game. You know, definitely check out the game 100 Bullets on Xbox. It's $9.99 for the game, and it's definitely worth it. It's going to take you a good bit of time to unlock all these levels. It's a lot of fun, and thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's just an honor that you play the game, and it just, I mean, I don't feel like a game is a game until people have played it. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I hope people check it out.